Today I'm going to talk to you about crypto, passive income, and some opportunities that I see taking place right now in 2018. So between now and the end of the year, I think there's a strong possibility we're going to see a huge run up in the P3D proof of weak hands token. And I'm going to cover that in this video. I'm going to cover all the signs that I currently see. Now this isn't investment advice. These are just some absolute, I'll show you the hard facts and then I'll make my own conjecture. These are just my opinions, if you will. So first things first, right now Ethereum is near all-time lows, all-time since in the bear market so far that we're in with cryptocurrencies. So Ethereum's around $200 per Ethereum. When this token came out, it was about $500 per Ethereum. This is an ERC20 token, so you have to use Ethereum to buy it. This, for people who are going from dollars or fiat to Ethereum, and then from Ethereum to proof of weak hands tokens, I think that just makes the tokens cheaper on a fiat or a dollar USD or euro basis. So that is one reason right there, and I'm going to cover three reasons, and I'm going to start with what I think are the kind of the weakest to the strongest potential signs that I see for a strong bull market coming with the proof of weak hands token. Potentially a strong bullish run up is what I'm personally predicting, and I'll show you why in this video. So first things first, they've already got some games. That's great. The very first reason is because of cheap Ethereum. The second reason is they've already got a game that interacts with the P3D token, and if you aren't familiar with the P3D token, I'll cover that some more a little bit later in the video just to recap. But they already have their own development. They released the token, then a few months later they released this game, FOMO 3D. However, then there's already developers with third-party dApps or third-party smart contract games. These are all smart contracts. You can look at the contract address here. However, there's Raffle 3D, Sacrifice 3D, P3D Daily, Slaughter, Spud 3D, however you want to say it, ETHORS, P3D Farm, Koch. Okay, all those are third-party apps. Now here's the thing, or third-party dApps. If you go into the Discord right now for the proof of weak hands, all people are talking about, it seems like, are what games are playing. People are playing this game a lot. People are playing this game a lot. P3D Daily's been played. Sacrifice has been played. So a lot of these games are getting played a lot. And so there's a lot of interaction. So the first thing is we have cheap Ethereum. Second thing we have is a community full of people playing these games, active use cases, and there's an expanding use case because not only are there people actively playing these games, but there's developers in particularly these two here who have done things together and separately. They are actively producing new projects right now. They're talking about it in Discord, and I'll cover some of that a little bit later in this video. But take a look down here. The original developers of Proof of Weak Hands are known as Team Just. They've not given a lot of details, but they already have this in development, and we got a clue about what may be going on here, or how close we are to a potential release. And again, I'll cover that a little bit later in this video, so stay tuned for that. Died is another game that's in development, a player versus player game on the blockchain by the original developers. This is currently in the development. Projects Shiny and Fluffy. I got a hunch about Shiny and Fluffy, but that's being done by Team Just as well, and I'll talk to you about Shiny and Fluffy here in a moment. So we got cheap Ethereum. That's one bullish sign. An expanding community creating more and more use case dApps around the token, and further development that seems like may be coming any day or any week now on three potential projects here from the actual developers. And when they launched FOMO 3D up here, it shot the contract up to 80,000 Ethereum in the contract. So who knows what's going to happen when they launch down here, when they launch one of these three items. Now, one more thing to mention. These developers, these third-party developers are already on the MetaMask testnet testing out a new game called Sniped. They've been talking, or Snipe 3D. They've been talking about that in the Discord as well. So that's actively taking place. They're actively working on it right now. Not only that, but two developers, this gentleman here, I believe, and I think it was this one here, they already are creating concepts for a potential decentralized exchange. Now, this is fascinating. If you understand how the P3D to proof of weak hands token works, this token creates massive passive income just for holding the token. And I'll cover that more in a moment and it'll make sense to you, but they've already got decentralized exchanges underway. This is one that the creator here, Lemon, the developer, this is one that he has already started. And you can literally, it functions now. He's going to be adding new coins according to what I saw on the Discord, but it already functions. I haven't paid a lot of attention to exactly how it functions, but basically you end up earning cash back through the P3D tokens just for using the exchange. Now, part of what I understand is the fees that you pay to use the exchange, to decentralized exchange, part of the fees interacts with the contract, and it either automatically buys you P3D tokens or it gives you the dividends earned from the P3D tokens from part of your fee. I'm not sure of that complete interaction. The point is, this is a project that is underway. This could be huge if this continues to flesh out. Like, this could be just absolutely massive, massive. Now, how do I know? What's the confirmation that something has taken place here? Before I get into that, let me just explain the best signs that we see that something's happening. But before I go there, let me just quick recap on the proof of weak hands token. Every time a token is bought or sold, this is how you earn a passive income by holding this token. Every time a token is bought or sold, there's a 10% fee. In other words, if you buy $100 worth of the token, if you have $100 worth of Ethereum and you go to buy the token, you're going to get $90 worth of the P3D token. That 10% fee goes to all other token holders. This is a very similar fee that you would get if you purchased something on Coinbase or anything else, except on Coinbase and Binance and those places, you're probably going to pay a 2 or 3 or 4% fee. Well, here it's a 10% fee, but the fee does not go to a central exchange or a central company running the exchange. It just, that 10% fee gets distributed to all other holders of the P3D tokens. So when you see all these games that are taking place, all these games basically are causing people to buy and sell and transfer and interact with the tokens, which is doing nothing but helping create volume. It's creating, buys and sells, which is creating those 10% in and out type fees that are happening. And it's usually doing it with really small amounts that's most of the time almost not perceptible. However, those small amounts add up for those of us that are P3D or proof of weak hand token holders. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. This decentralized exchange and the other concept of a decentralized exchange could potentially bring massive amounts of volume, and we don't even know yet what these other development projects are really going to be. Only one of them has been confirmed as a game. They've called this one an expansion of P3D, but they've not really, this is what they've said about it. So they kind of talk in codes that developers do, just kind of giving hints, kind of teasing the community, if you will. But I got an idea what Project Shiny and Fluffy might be, or at least a little bit of an idea. There's been talk of the P3D concept, the smart contract concept, the 10% fee in and out being used by other projects, and the devs basically going in and being consultants with those projects. Now, they went back and forth and they said the projects were going to directly interact with the P3D or proof of weak hands token, and more lately they said no, it's not going to directly interact. It's just going to use the concepts. But this is still a very bullish sign for two reasons. And the reason I think these projects, first of all, they didn't say Project Shiny and a separate announcement Project Fluffy. So I think it's two similar projects, but Shiny and Fluffy aren't similar to anything. Like, those two words don't sound similar at all. And I just think that those are nicknames you're giving to two different third-party projects. And the hint I have is Shiny, like Shiny Object Syndrome is a distraction. So that's what I'm thinking. Interestingly enough, the lead designer of Team Justo has said that he's going to take his part of Ethereum that he earns from basically as payment for consulting or for working on this new project, and he's going to put it into P3D. Now, I think he may have already done that. That's why I think this is going to be announced soon, and I'll show you why I think he may have done that here in a moment. But here's the thing that's so fascinating. He is, even if this project does not interact directly with the Proof of Weak Hands 3D token, I think that it may still bring some attention to this token and what this token is all about. So, which if it would just create more awareness potentially. So I think that's still going to be positive. But even if if Justo gets a large payday, I don't know, like 1,000 Ethereum potentially, I don't know. But if that happens and he puts that into P3D tokens, which he says he's going to do, if he does that, then that I think just speaks volume to when you got an insider, the lead developer, it just shows you how much he believes in the project. Again, another bullish sign. And we'll recap all these bullish signs here in a moment. But the most bullish sign of all is probably right here, the chart. This is the 1-day chart. So this thing has, keep in mind, all the buys and all the sales create 10% fees. Those 10% fees are distributed to all other tokens and the holders of those tokens as Ethereum. So if you look right here, there was about 1,000 ETH put into the contract here, and there's about 1,000 ETH put in the contract here. Now, there's been a lot of speculation. 1,000 ETH is $200,000. So there's been a lot of speculation on where that's coming from. I actually wonder if this is, there's Justo and Manso are two major developers on P3D. And this is just a guess. I've just wondered, could each one of them have been put their earnings, so to speak, from this last project into P3D? Maybe one of them did it here. They knew it run up the price of the token. So they were waiting to see if there was a pullback. There wasn't a pullback. And so they decided to go ahead in. Or, God forbid, one of them got paid 2,000 Ethereum. They put in here, waited for a pullback, nothing happened, so they went ahead and put in a few days later. If that's the case, then that means they truly, I mean, that's a large amount of dollar value. So 2,000 Ethereum's close to 400, well, it's just over $400,000 in today's valuations. I mean, it's closer to 900,000 at the peak. So, this past year, I mean, that would have been closer to $1 million. So it's hard to say what's going on. A lot of people think maybe it's a big player, a big whale. That's to say the least. This is this project is not big enough to be an institutional project. So it's definitely some sort of individual. It might not be Manso and Justo, but somebody, maybe someone who's associated with one of these projects potentially. And again, this is just me guessing because I don't know. Maybe someone associated with these projects, maybe a big player's like, hey, I think there's a future here with this proof of weekends thing after they're using it and interacting with the contract. So then maybe they're the ones who decided to jump in. The bottom line is this. Somebody with some sort of knowledge thinks this is a good idea, and they've already jumped in the past couple of weeks. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think we hit a bottom here, and I think we're kind of headed up with new developments coming underway, a decentralized exchange, already got an active community interacting with the contract. I think all of this says that we're going to cheap Ethereum. All of these are signs, in my opinion, of a potential Ethereum bull run. If you want to check out Proof of Weekends yourself, if you want to come to the website, read through it, come to the wiki, understand exactly how it works, read through the smart contract yourself, you can totally do that. The website is www.powh.io, and I will put a link down below so you can see that for yourself. You can review through it. It's not an affiliate link, it's just a direct link. I mean, I put affiliate links in my description all the time, but this is just a direct link. So if you love to earn crypto passive income, if you want to learn how to, just subscribe to my channel. That's what I cover. I cover cryptocurrencies, the future of cryptocurrencies, the technology behind cryptocurrencies, but I put a strong emphasis on everything from Masternode and other projects and dividend type earning tokens that exist currently in the marketplace. So I follow real use case projects, not, we don't do lending platforms or anything that looks, scammy. That's just, if I think it's scammy, I'm not going to cover it. At least I'm not going to cover it in a positive way. And I try to be positive on this channel. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts below. If you can think of any other bullish signs related to Proof of Weekends 3D, or if you have any questions about it, put it in the comments. I love to interact with you. I do my best to read all the comments. I do my best to respond to everyone. And I can't tell you that I have all the answers because I don't have any inside track. I just read the Discord and try to stay up to date as best I can. But I'll do my best to at least direct you to where you maybe can get your questions answered. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.